everybody. Meg Czapiewski here with Honorable Service Realty Group. I am going to share my market update with you, and we're going to dive right into some charts to talk about where the numbers have been this past July, and then what we're expecting to see in the fall market as we get out of the summer market and move into the fall market. So starting in Fairfax County, we've split out detached or single family homes, attached townhomes, and then condos and co-ops are in this yellow at the bottom. New pendings, those things that went under contract in the month of July. July is traditionally a very slow month for us. So as you can see, there's been kind of a steady drop on single family homes from their peak in April when activity was highest and down to July. But year over year, comparing this July to last July, only down 1.3%. That's not a drastic number to latch onto. It's just typical of July. In the townhomes, a little bit more of a notable number that it's down 6.4%. And on condos and co-ops, down 3.2%. The good news story is always when we look at our pricing trends, and let's see, we don't want to look at the list, we want to look at the median sold. So the median sold price is up 4.4% on detached homes since this time last year. So in July, 940,000 as a median sales price, down slightly from a little over 1 million back in May. However, what I would tell you is that there's a lot to do with which homes happen to be on the market at the time and the individual conditions. So it wouldn't surprise me if your median sales price in the next month is actually higher, because July is a slow month, there's less competition, and so sometimes the bargains are a little better, right? In townhomes, the increase is almost 7% with a median sales price of townhomes at 635,000, and their condos and co-ops up 2.6% since this time last year at just shy of 380,000 as a median sales price. Let's take a look at Prince William County and see what the numbers look like. We're going to go back to market activity. Not really going to pay attention to condos and co-ops. It's such a small part of the market there that we're talking single digits sometimes on things that are sold. But new pendings, again, you're seeing that slope that they peaked a little bit later in May, vice April, but down. However, when you take a look at this compared to July of last year, they're up just a wee bit, 3.6% in activity. So that's a kind of a good news story, but still down compared to June. And then July in townhomes, they were down 8.9%, almost 9% in activity levels of new pendings in townhomes in Prince William County. Again, we always love to look at the pricing trends. Median sold, although it's tapering down just a little bit, as I mentioned on Fairfax, that has to do with your activity levels, because if there's less buyers out there, there's going to be less competition. But the people who bought homes, single family in this case, or detached homes in Prince William County, saw a 7.6% increase in home values compared to this slow month last year. That's a good news story for sure. 710,000 as a median sales price for your detached homes. And on townhomes, up 8%. And their average sales price is 510,000. So good news in Prince William County, as we've seen across the board, that prices continue to develop equity for homeowners. Now let's take a quick look at Stafford, and we will go back to market activity. New pendings down 8.3% since this time last year in July, and down, or actually up 3.2% on the townhomes. So not so bad of a shift. In fact, they actually came up from May, which was just sort of a flip-flop in when the buying was happening, because this was down 21% in May when we typically would see peak activity, and they've come up in both since July, or since that time frame in July. Looking at pricing trends, median sold, what you see here is detached up almost 6% at 5.8 with a median sales price of $566,000, and up slightly at 2.2% with a median sales price of townhomes in Stafford at $412,000. So consistent story that we've seen throughout our market is that the trends of activity are not far off from where we saw in July of last year. And the spring market looked like the spring market last year. The summer market's looking like the summer market last year. What are we expecting for our activity levels as well as the sales price? In the fall, we typically do see a pickup. September tends to be a better month than August and a way better month than July. It doesn't typically last long because the holiday mode starts going into, holiday mode, right? Buyers start worrying about celebrating, getting family together, doing their decorating and all the things. But one thing that we did note last year is that toward the end of the year, that Thanksgiving weekend and rushing in through the Christmas season, we actually saw a pickup in volume. The more activity that's out there, generally speaking, the higher the prices. The less activity, like we saw in the month of July, we saw a slight trend down from the median sales price of previous months. The new rules that got put into place, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, please reach out. We did send an email out to our database explaining that, have shined additional light on negotiation space on transactions. So it will be interesting to see how the prices reflect some of these new negotiation tactics that have been highlighted with the new changes. But what I expect to see, quite honestly, is probably prices continuing to stay on trend with where we were last year, seeing price growth. So September to September, I would expect numbers in the green on price, and potentially numbers in the red as we drop down. The other factor is that interest rate and the Fed decision this September. We've already seen some interest rate reduction just as a harbinger to what we're expecting from the Fed. And that will probably breed some confidence into the market, both for sellers who now feel like their next house is attainable, affordable, and to buyers who are just ready to take the plunge now before the interest rates go too far to cause that raise in sales prices, which is they're inextricably linked. And so then they can always refinance down the road, but at least they're not facing out of reach sales prices. I hope this was helpful. I would love to have a personal one-on-one chat with you, your home or your future home, what you're trying to achieve with your real estate goals, and happy to answer any market evaluation numbers for you for your particular desire or your home sale. Contact us below. Thanks for listening. I'll be back next month. Bye-bye.